welcome to the deep dive. So if you're a developer looking at the world of ABA today, what do you see?
A huge landscape.
Right. Maybe you're fresh out of a program that focused on Python or Java, or you're making a career change.
And you're facing this massive history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to learn ABAP. But the big scary question is,
Yeah.
what part of this language, this decades-old language, actually matters today?
And what's just, historical baggage you can ignore?
Yeah.
It really is a classic time traveler problem. You, the new developer, you're fluent in all the latest concepts.
Object-oriented design, web services, CI/CD.
All of it. You're ready to build the future. But then you step into an existing SAP environment.
And you might find code from the 1990s.
And the tools, the concepts, they can feel completely archaic. That disparity, it leads to frustration fast.
It's a huge challenge, too, because not every company is on S/4HANA yet.
Oh, not even close.
And the cloud migration certainly isn't universal, so there's a real danger here, isn't there?
There is. The danger is that the industry alienates the exact young talent it needs by, well, drowning them in obsolete practices.
So you're using new talent to maintain old processes.
Precisely. And that's not just a matter of preference, it's an enterprise risk. The role of the ABAP developer is changing, fundamentally.
It has to align with general software engineering.
It must. To build sustainable applications in S4 and the cloud, you need modern skills.
Okay, so that's our mission today. We're going to give you a targeted, future-proof blueprint.
We're cutting through the historical clutter.
We want to make sure every minute you spend learning is on the critical path. So let's unpack this. What's the context for this huge shift?
The context is really simple. Alignment. Alignment with general software engineering.
Getting ABA to catch up, in a way.
Exactly. Modernizing the concepts, the syntax, the tools. It's crucial because when you look toward future environments like S/4HANA and especially the cloud,
You can't use the old tool.
you simply can't. The necessary tools and processes shift so rapidly. You have to be ready for an environment that's built on, service interfaces and cloud deployment.
Which takes us right to the blueprint. If you're learning ABAP today, this is your roadmap.
We're calling it the ABAP Learning Matrix for beginners.
The 7 pillars that define modern ABAP mastery. This is all about setting priorities. Okay, let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
Pillar number 1 has to be the syntax itself, the new ABAP constructs.
Absolutely. We have to get away from the idea of learning 1990s syntax first. The focus must be entirely on the new keywords.
The modern, concise expressions.
Right. I mean, if you come from Java or C#, you already understand the power of type inference, of inline declarations.
Things like data variable.
Exactly. Instead of declaring everything manually up at the top. Or using constructor expressions like value hashtag HAG.
And why is that so critical? It's not just about looking cleaner, is it?
No, it's about readability and just. Less code. Less code means fewer bugs. It makes the application so much easier to maintain and faster to write.
So we only mention the old keywords for context.
For context only, to understand what you might see in older code. But the emphasis always must be on the modern, cleaner approach.
Okay, moving on. Pillar 2. The ABAP dictionary. This is foundational, right? It's not going away.
No, it remains essential, but its role has shifted a bit.
How so?
You still need a rock-solid understanding of types, database tables, structures. I mean, the dictionary defines the data architecture of the whole system.
Sure.
But its relevance now is less about raw data access and more about providing this robust, defined base for the virtual data model.
Which we will definitely get to later.
We will.
Okay, next up, the structural core. Pillar 3, ABAP, object-oriented programming. ABAO.
This is completely non-negotiable.
For building anything testable, right? Anything maintainable.
Exactly. Mastery here means understanding classes, interfaces, inheritance, polymorphism, just like you would in any other modern language.
A huge pain point in older systems is that procedural code.
It is. Mandating an O structure from the start ensures the application is modular and can be maintained long-term. If you can't structure an application using OO principles, that application becomes a liability fast.
So if OAO was about structure, the next logical step is making sure those structures don't break.
Which brings us to Pillar 4, ABAP unit.
Testing.
Yes, the automation of tests plays a central, critical role. If we're serious about aligning with general software engineering, we have to talk CI/CD.
Continuous integration, continuous delivery.
And you cannot have a robust CI/CD pipeline without mandated unit tests. It's that simple. ABAP unit reduces your technical debt, and it makes your applications easier to refactor.
It's future-proofing your work from day
There
one.
really is.
All right, now we get to the data. This feels like the biggest conceptual leap for a new developer. Pillar 5, Core Data Services, CDS.
This is huge. CDS is where data modeling and consumption lives in the S4HANA world. It is absolutely essential.
And you have to understand the virtual data model, the VDM, that sits underneath it.
You do. The VDM is basically a structured set of CDS views. They represent the business data in a secure, performant way that's designed for consumption, not just storage.
So why is CDS so revolutionary compared to the old way of doing things?
Because CDS is the engine for embedded analytics.
Okay, unpack that.
Think about how reporting used to work. Complex batch jobs may be running outside the core system, using old tools like SE16N or SKUA01 to just pull raw data.
Right.
CDS views on SAP HANA change all of that. They run directly on the database layer. They deliver real-time secure reporting and analytical data that can be consumed instantly.
By Fiori apps, by APIs, BI tools.
All of it. If you master CDS, you're not just a coder anymore. You are the architect of the entire analytical layer of a modern business.
That is a massive shift in value. Okay, from data to interaction. Pillar 6 is how we expose all this functionality.
Modern interfaces. We have to move away from the older stuff.
No more BAPIs or classic web services.
Right. The immediate focus should be on OBeta services, maybe using SECW to start, but the real priority.
Has to be the ABAP RESTful Programming Model, or RAP.
Yes, RIP is the goal.
So if I'm coming from a world of Node.js or Spring Boot, what does RAP offer me?
RAP is the native full-stack framework for building transactional apps in modern SAP. It handles everything from the data retrieval with CDS all the way to the OData exposure.
And it's built for the cloud.
Inherently, it's stateless, it's cloud-ready, it dramatically simplifies creating APIs and Fiori apps. It's the core framework for S4 and the cloud, so you have to prioritize those RAP learning paths.
And finally, Pillar 7, the place where you actually do the work.
The environment itself, Eclipse.
The time for SE80 is over.
It's fading fast, especially in cloud or S4 HANA. The standard is the ABAP development tools, ADT, which runs inside Eclipse.
So your learning focus should be exclusively on Eclipse.
Exclusively. It has modern features, version control, refactoring tools, advanced debugging. The old SAP GUI transactions just can't compete. It's what makes ABAP feel like a general programming language again.
Okay, that is a solid roadmap for the future. But just as important as knowing what to do.
Is knowing what not to do.
Exactly. Knowing what you can safely skip. We need to avoid putting obsolete tech in front of new developers. We're clearing the runway.
Absolutely. And the first major thing to de-emphasize is DinPro development.
For listeners who are new to this, what are we talking about when we say DinPro?
DinPro is the older, proprietary SAP user interface layer. Think of those clunky, screen-based developments you see in old SAP GUI applications.
Custom screens, table controls.
All of that. You should avoid learning to build these. The modern standard for UI is Fiori and UI5. For most simple reporting, you can use the modern ALV grid, which is way more efficient.
Okay, what's next on the avoid list?
Classic reports. We need to clean up how reports are written.
Meaning no more write output commands.
Or those old form subroutines instead of proper methods. New developers should build clean, object-oriented structures from the start. It reinforces the importance of Pillar 3.
Right. And the last piece of baggage to leave behind.
Specific legacy form techniques. We should really de-emphasize things like smart forms or the very old SAP script.
But there's a note here. Adobe Forms is still current.
Crucial note, yes, Adobe Forms is still very current and necessary for highly structured output. But for a beginner, the older form tech is a time sink you can just skip.
So we've outlined the technology. Let's shift gears to the practical challenges.
The human element.
Exactly. You're coming from Python or JavaScript. You get arrays, lists, objects. What are the conceptual hurdles that trip up new developers in the ABAP environment?
There are two big ones that we see right at the start. The first is just the rigid structure of understanding internal tables.
ABAP internal tables versus, say, a Python list. That's where the confusion starts, isn't it?
It is. In modern languages, arrays are super flexible, dynamic. In ABAP, an internal table is tightly coupled to a structure that's defined in the dictionary.
So it has a fixed, explicit structure.
Exactly. And mastering the ABAP SQL syntax for accessing and managing that structure, that's critical daily work. It's a hurdle that requires you to embrace strong typing.
And the second hurdle, this one is more operational.
Debugging. It will feel slow at first, especially if you're used to quick print statements.
Yeah.
But here's the secret. The ABAP debugger is an incredibly powerful tool. You must embrace it.
It's the fastest way to learn.
It's the fastest and most immersive way to understand how complex inherited SAP code actually works, how data flows. New developers need to spend serious time mastering the debugger.
Which brings us to the conclusion of this whole transformation.
Yeah, the big picture.
Looking at all this, modern ABAP is actually becoming easier to learn, isn't it?
It is, precisely because its focus on OO, on testing, on modern tooling, is bringing it into alignment with other languages.
That alignment is the key.
It's everything. You shouldn't be intimidated by the history. You're not learning the old ABA. You're learning modern ABAP. By prioritizing these skills, you're building a skill set that's valuable in any modern enterprise.
You're transitioning from a systems programmer to an enterprise application architect.
That's the goal.
So what does this all mean for you, the developer?
It means the mastery of this modern stack turns you from someone who just writes reports into someone who enables real-time business insight.
So if modernization means embedded analytics and real-time reporting through that virtual data model, how fundamentally does mastering CDS change the value of a modern ABAP developer compared to their classic counterpart who was stuck pulling raw data with SE16N?
It's a whole different ballgame.
That's something for you to mull over or explore on your own. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We hope this roadmap helps you navigate the complex but exciting modern ABAP landscape.
We'll catch you next time.